everyone, welcome to Strategy with Sally. Today we're going to be talking about what it feels like or some strategies you can use if you feel like burning it all down, if you want to quit your business. But hey VIPs, jumping on in. If you're out there on the live stream, make sure you head on in if you are a VIP, because at the end of this, we're going to do some live Q&A. Now, if you're joining us on the replay and you don't want to miss a live, then make sure you register for Dr. Sparkle. Dr. Sparkle will send you updates whenever we go live for any of our training or any of our events. And just to my team, can you please mute those coming on into the VIP room? That would be awesome. Also, don't forget, we're over here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button as well, and turn on the bell so you get notifications when we do go live through that little ding ding. But today it's all about feeling like quitting your business. But if you don't yet know me, I'm Sally Sparks Cousins. I'm the founder of the Sparkle Class Academy and the creator of the Freedom Funnel Formula. I'm an automation nerd. I love sexy numbers. And yes, I dream about tags and squiggly lines. I know, it's crazy, right? So if you're out on the live stream, let me know where you're tuning in from. And if you're even on the replay, just type replay so we know that you're on the replay and we can give some love to you. So let's do this. Feel like burning it all down? It's come to an end. I'm going to burn down my business. Well, if you feel that, then it's okay, right? We've all been through it. I've messed up through growing my business. There have been times that I have just wanted to quit. Now, I'm not like, get out the little violin, sympathy party. No. Honestly, I have had bad days. I've had times when I was going to throw in the towel. I was literally a couple of years ago, I decided I just wanted to give it all up. And now look where I am. Imagine if I had. So today's topic is all around 9 strategies that I can give you to help you when you feel like burning it to the ground. So the very first tip I want to give you is just breathe. Just breathe. It is totally okay to feel that way. Now, I know it can be really hard when you're out on social media and you see like all of the Instagram perfect people. It looks as though everyone is doing way better than you. But I can promise you all of those Instagram perfect people out there have also felt this way too. Challenges are a part of your business and are actually just part of life. So you just need to know that growing a business, just like growing up in life, there are always going to be challenges. Now, a wise person once told me that a person's reaction is based on your expectations. So when you're being exposed to all of these overnight successes, I call bullshit. I want to know those people that are marketing and advertising to you these amazing success stories and overnight unicorns and rainbows. What were they doing 5 or 10 years ago, right? So these marketing strategies that people use on you, don't you worry. Those people have also experienced failure. At one time or another, they've wanted to burn it on down to the ground. And if you're not going through a rough time in business, don't worry, it's coming. We rarely find those social media posts that tell you all about the failures, all about the hard times that you have to actually overcome in order to be successful. But when you're expecting to grow a business, I can promise you it's not going to be easy. Here in the Sparkle world, we might sparkle, but we don't bullshit you. We do not tell you that life and business is going to be easy. And when you don't expect a challenge, then it takes you by surprise, right? then those obstacles will knock the wind out of you. And then you start to dwell on those negative thoughts, those negative feelings. As Vince Lombardi famously said, it's not whether you get knocked down, it's whether you get up again, right? I get knocked down, but I get up again. So I've learned through the more I get knocked down, the more often that I get knocked down, the faster and the easier it is for me to get back up again. And you learn through all of those setbacks. And when you have other people around you, which takes me to tip number 2, you are not alone. Surround yourself with like-minded entrepreneurs. Now, it's pretty hard to encourage yourself when you're in a midst of anxiety and frustration and doubt. Firstly, you've got to make the decision to get out of bed, to get out of solitary confinement, and to not operate your business like you are an island. Don't try and climb out of discouragement, about frustration, out of doubt alone. Find yourself a group, maybe a mastermind group or an advisory group, or I like to call them my little battle buddies, where you can get together regularly, and as like-minded entrepreneurs, you all can work on your business together. So join maybe a local networking group or build relationships with other business owners and entrepreneurs. Reach out to colleagues and ask them to be your accountability buddy. Here inside the Sparkle World, we have the VOZ, the virtual office space, where it's open 24/7 for our clients to jump in and work alongside each other. And 8 hours a day, 4 days a week, we have an actual Team Sparkle member in there. And also the amazing Jackie Ashley, who is our mindset coach. But not only Jackie, there are so many other mindset coaches in there as well. So are you in a group of entrepreneurs, like-minded with us, heart-centered, a little woohoo, entrepreneurs, but choose people who are on the journey along with you. Your partner, your friends may not get it. So make sure you do surround yourself and connect with like-minded entrepreneurs. Now, the next one, tip number 3, is going to make you roll your eyes a little. We hear this all the time. Side eye roll happening right now. Remember your why. Yes. Oh, there she said it. I know. But remember, you started your business for you. Sure, I get it. If you're following the Sparkle World, it's because you want to help others. You want to transform lives. But remember, the reason why you started was for you. Now, for me, it was to create freedom, wealth, choice, to have a housekeeper come 5 days a week. But I can make my own schedule. I can have a nap after lunch. I get to travel, which I'm heading to Sydney for 3 weeks tomorrow. But also to help others. But also, that is selfishly, I love helping others. So it's okay to be a little bit selfish. So when you find yourself wanting to quit and you want to give up on your business because maybe it's just not making any money, right? Maybe you are still trying to attract the ideal client, or your business maybe just doesn't feel fun anymore. You need to develop high performing people around you, but also you will not survive the long term if you are just in it for the money, right? Yes, sure, you need money in order to grow an actual business, or it's just a hobby, but there has to be a greater meaning that truly drives you in your business. Now, the problem is when you're pursuing just the money, there is no purpose. So we all need to make a living and pay the bills. And I truly believe that every single one of us were put on this planet for a bigger, greater purpose. But what the difference is that will set you apart from other businesses, and it doesn't matter how unglamorous you may look most days, if you do not have a why for yourself first, then it's going to be really hard to pick yourself up out of that pity party. Because when you start questioning your business, when it comes to money and leads and success, if you don't have a deeper why, a way to reconnect with your purpose and focus on the impact that you're having through your business, then it's going to be really hard to keep continuing. And there's a next tip for you, which is tip number 4, find an experienced guide. You see, discouragement can feel insurmountable when you're trying to climb Mount Everest alone and you're not supported by an experienced guide. So let me give you a little visual around climbing Mount Everest. So you're struggling to scale the rock. You're climbing this rock and you're doing it all by yourself, and you fall without support. Chances are it's a little scary to get back up again, right? But you wouldn't get back up again if you didn't have a friend belaying you from the ground, so supporting you with a rope. So if you do fall, they're there to protect you, to stop you from getting hurt when you do fall. And they belay you so that when you do fall, you don't fall very far, right? They also have probably climbed the mountain before, so they can guide you on the steps and the best way to get there based on your own personal physical reach. Now, the same sequence wouldn't be given to, say, my sister, who is much taller than me, and she could probably take a different direction from a little shorty like me, right? But she might be much stronger in her upper body than I am. But if you're free climbing, you would certainly give up on your first fall, because you'd fall, you'd hurt yourself, and you'd be really scared to get back up and attempt to free climb alone by yourself. But I know, my own threshold based on my own age and pain, right? Would I risk breaking my bones doing it by myself? Of course not. Now, the same is said when it comes to your business. You can't afford to make costly mistakes. So hiring yourself an experienced guide, I can tell you, is worth every single penny you spend. If I was to do my time over again, it would be the very first thing I did, was hire myself a guide. Now, moving on to step number 5 is evaluate your equipment. Now, when you're climbing the rock, you have to have the proper equipment to have a successful climb. And the same is said when it comes to your business. So when you're climbing the mountain, you've got to have the right type of shoes. You can't climb a mountain in slides, even though they're more comfortable. Every step of your hike up the mountain can be dangerous and slippery. The clothing, the ropes, the way you hang your clothes on you, all depends on the equipment that you use. So in business, if it is slow, I want you to evaluate, what equipment are you using? Are you using the right marketing and sales toolbox? Don't overlook the importance of having the right tech tools. You can watch your sales just climb so much faster when you plug the holes in your sales and marketing funnels using the right tools for the job. Now, there are some critical tools every business should have to equip you to grow a scalable, sustainable business. Now, we have a philosophy here inside of the Sparkle World: build it once and be done. Stop buying cheap or free software, because eventually you're going to outgrow it and you're going to have to relearn it and redo it all over again. So some of the equipment you need is an effective way to generate leads, a great way to capture those leads, a lead generation tool as well. You'll need email marketing and an auto-responding tool, traffic generating tools like your social media. So make sure you have the right tools in place for a scalable, sustainable business, so you're not wasting loads of time in areas of your business that you don't need to be working in. Now, tip number 6 is to shift your focus. We even have a quote card for this one. Focus on the solutions and not the problems. When you start to isolate the issue, or we like to call it IDS, identify, discuss, and then solve the issue. At a stage, I went through burnout, and I was going to burn my entire business to the ground. I'm like, why am I doing this? I'm so stressed. Now, when I went through burnout, what I did was I could not even get out of bed for 3 months. My neurons in my brain were just not firing correctly. So eventually I stopped once I got through, and I mean, this was serious burnout. So I'm hoping nobody else goes through this, but I can tell you I learnt from experience. But when I started to actually evaluate why I was feeling this way, what is the problem? To find the solution, I realized that I had made way too many big promises to my team. It came off the back end of a team retreat. And back then, I had a lot of team members who were volunteering their time to help me grow this business. And I was fully stressed to the max that I had made all these promises, and also a lot of the team members weren't able to do half of the stuff that I needed to be able to get there. So secondly, I had the wrong team as well. And when I had so many big promises, I got overwhelmed that I was not going to be able to follow through. So what did I do? I shifted my focus and I came back to my why, to why I started the business in the first place. And, you know, when you're not making enough money, maybe right now, worry, anxiety, even ulcers and burnout can come in. So the most effective way of shifting your focus is to see the problem and also see opportunities for, get it? Listen, measuring those sexy numbers. Yes, that's the one way. So this is one of the most overlooked steps in business. You cannot continue to put your head in the sand and just hope that all those numbers are going to work out. But once you start measuring your marketing and you're getting results, you start to really x-ray that problem and you start to see what's causing the problem. So let me know if you have actually, done this in your business. Are you measuring the data? So some specifics, so some numbers or opportunities that you can focus on are number of, say, new visits to your landing page. How many views did you get? How many subscribers did you get? Maybe you sent an email and your bounce rate or your open rate. Or how many new members have joined your Facebook group? Or how many sales calls have you booked? Or how many people do you have in the pipeline close to booking a sale? So can you see, when you start to look at all of these opportunities in your business, you can find other areas to focus on that's going to give you specific ways to find a little problem and then solve it. So in this area, I want you to start to really think about what is important to track in your business. Now, if you're struggling to figure out what numbers you should be looking at, well, just reach out to me. Send me a DM. I am happy to have a chat with you about your sales and marketing strategy, because you know I love me some sexy numbers. So I'm happy to have a chat with you and find some holes to plug. So shoot me a DM. I'm happy to find a time on my calendar. Now, number 7, don't worry about the storm. Worry about having a really good anchor. Now, falling sales numbers might be the storm itself, but having a good anchor will keep you from seriously worrying about it. Because when you go rock climbing, let's go back to the rocks, you don't worry about falling when you have a good anchor. You know, that best friend, the belayer below you, supporting you. Not only are they your safety net, but also my belayer, my coach, is also my guide. And they know what steps to take. Because when you're climbing the rock, your nose is so close to the rock, it can be really hard to see what steps you should take next. But that belayer below you, they can see the big picture of the entire mountain from where they are standing. Plus, they've already climbed the rock before. So they know firsthand all the pitfalls, as well as the easiest path for you to reach the top. So tell me, who is belaying your business? Who is your safety net? Who is guiding you to the next step while your nose is too close for you to see those opportunities? Now, strategy number 8 is get grateful. Complaining is a pretty common thing. Oh, it's so hard. I just don't want to. I'm just so tired. Excuse. While I support listening to your needs and taking care of yourself, sometimes you just have to jump one hurdle at a time, one leg up, one leg over, and be grateful that you've even got legs at all. Okay, so we make lots of excuses. 99% of the time, to be totally honest with you, they're just cop-outs. And it's usually brought on by fear, that little voice in your head that's telling you to give up. That little itty-bitty shitty committee sitting on your shoulder. It's also known as ego. Now, you can easily put in the time and the effort by shifting your perspective. List some things that you're grateful for. Write them down. Say them out loud. Tell someone that you're grateful for them. Appreciate everything that you have and realign yourself so that you're in a more ready place, and you will receive a whole lot more, both in life and in business. So if you keep complaining, however, you will continue to be stuck. And my final strategy for you is to make a game plan. Now, if you wake up every day and you hate what you do, you cannot remember your why. You really wish that everything would go away, and you've focused on solutions and not problems. You've had yourself a guide, you've tried all the things, and you're like, I hate it. I really hate what I've grown. There is nothing wrong with creating an exit plan either. But I don't want you to just throw it out the window without going through each of the previous tips to see whether or not you can get out. Now, I'm not just saying get out the ladder, burn it all down. Always have an exit strategy in mind, because the best way to grow a business is to grow it so that it is sellable. Okay? That's what we teach. Stop selling you and start to sell the method, because then the business itself becomes a sellable asset. As a coach, a lot of you tend to build your business around you as the central place of all things that are great in business. But if you're smart, you don't build your business around you. You build your business around your method. And if you're unsure what that is, reach out to me. That's another one of my skill sets, pulling all the crazy out of your brain and turning it into a method. But once you have that, then when you know that you love it, then work out how to fix it, how to pull yourself out of your funk and keep on going. I am so grateful for the business that I have created. The business that I've created has allowed me to have more time, more freedom to travel. So if you feel like quitting your business, then please refer back to these 9 tips. Tip 1 is to breathe and know it's totally okay. We all feel like this sometimes. Tip number 2 is to make sure you're connected with like-minded entrepreneurs. And strategy 3 is always remember your why, because you can do it and be a little selfish around you and your why. It's okay. Number 4 is find an experienced guide. If I could turn back the clock, I would have done that so much earlier. And number 5 is evaluate your equipment. Do you have all the right tools in place so that you can create a sustainable, scalable business? And 6, focusing on solutions and not problems. Isolate that issue. IDS, identify, discuss, and solve, so that you can see opportunities by measuring sexy numbers. And strategy number 7, don't worry about the storm, worry about the anchor. What's going to help you stop falling? What's going to help you show you the next step? Who is your safety net? Who is belaying you in your business? So that when your nose is so close to the rock, who is overlooking everything? So, you're in the weeds, right? And strategy 8 is grateful. So much great things come from being grateful. Practice daily gratitude and don't let that itty bitty shitty committee on your shoulder win. And finally, make sure you have a game plan for moving forward. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I'm going to head now over to the VIP room and we're going to have a little chat before we go dark on the world. I would love you to all turn your cameras on and share a key aha takeaway for you, something that kind of ignited a little sparkle inside of you. Nahaku, what about you? And it's so good to see you in here. What was your key takeaway from today's lesson?
Gosh, there was so much, but I really, really enjoyed, the storms are going to come into your life, and having that anchor point and just being able to work with the storm instead of against it. I think that that's a really good tip, but all of them happen. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Sonia, what about you? What was one of the tips that stood out to you the most?
The anchoring, obviously, but I also remembering to be grateful and practice gratitude every day, because a lot of times we get so busy in our lives and we don't always do that. So that's a great reminder for me to continue doing that daily.
Yeah, great. Yes, definitely. What about you, Sarah? What was a big one for you today?
Many of them actually. But the thing that sticks in my mind is that I think I need to take a hit out on my itty bitty shitty committee because I'm done. I am done. It's
Oh,
like,
love it. Yes.
get off my shoulder.
That's it. Flick that little bugger off. Erica, what about you? Which one was it for you today?
Just same as everyone, all of them, but I think most importantly is just the tools in place, like setting yourself up for success, so then you can't complain and get frustrated, like just so you can be successful.
Yeah, build it once and be done. Joanne, what about you? What was a big one for you today?
I think for me, it was to be solution focused and not problem focused.
Yeah.
Sometimes I actually forget that, and I know that that's one of your principles. So I try and practice that more these days.
Oh, awesome. Yay. Eva, how about you, my love? What was one of the big ones for you today?
One of the big ones is just remembering to check those insights and check those metrics and make sure that we're paying attention to what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
Like if all we're doing is constantly saying, this is what my clients need, but that's not what they're actually looking for. It may be what they need, but it's not what they want.
Yeah.
And so having those metrics really helps us get grounded back in, okay, well, we're here to be of service. So that needs to be, we're being of service and not telling people what their journey should look like. So
yeah.
The metrics are really important.
So important. And Karen, how about you, my love? What was the big one for you?
I missed some of them, but I'm with Sarah. I'm ready to kick that itty bitty shit committee to the curb. And the gratitude. Those two are big.
Yeah. I mean, Jackie preaches practicing gratitude and writing every day. Thank you, everyone who I just pulled everyone with the cameras up. I'm not sure where everyone else is. I know a few of you are in places that you probably can't turn on your cameras right now. All right, so we can do a couple of Q&As now, and then we're going to go dark. So does anybody here have any questions? And I'm just going to check out on the live stream and see if there's also any questions being submitted. What are good tools? From Kay. Kay wants to know what are good tools. All right, I should have set up my iPad. So I have a set of tools that I recommend that our clients all use. And the reason for the selection, I'm just looking for my pen. The reason for this selection is because they work together. Because I want you to build it once and be done. Where is my pen? There it is. Now, I'll give you an explanation and share with you, once I get my iPad working, what the actual tools are, because I've used lots of tech. I was like, when I started this business, what I did was I taught people all the tools. They would come in and they would want to use ClickFunnels, and I'd be like, yeah, cool, I can help you with ClickFunnels. And then Lead Pages, sure, I can help you with Lead Pages. And Thinkific and Teachable and Kajabi and Keep and ActiveCampaign and so many tools. And what I found was it wasn't the tool necessarily that was making and helping people become successful. It was knowing how to use the tools, knowing how to use the tools and what is their capability, but also their limitations. So what can they do well and what can't they do well? A little bit like a GP. So when you have a GP, they're a little bit like a jack of all trades, right? They diagnose a problem and they've probably got a specialty area that they work in, but they don't have the answers and they can't do everything. When you need a specialist, you go off to the specialist, the ear, nose and eye doctors, or wherever, your foot doctor, your pediatrician, wherever you need your specialty, you go and get them. So you cannot run a business with one piece of software, right? You do need multiple pieces of software. It's just not possible. Now, after testing and playing with lots and lots of different software, what I found was the pieces of software that you can build it once and be done. And Lead Pages, for example, eventually you'll grow out of. Google Forms, you'll grow out of. There's so many pieces of software that you can buy that are cheap and free, but eventually you will outgrow it as your business grows, and therefore you have to learn new software. So the software that we went with were Keep for automation, Kajabi to house your program, your online course, and then we use OneShub for booking appointments. And we've recently moved, so this is the thing, right? We have been using Acuity for many, many years, well, since I started business. And now we have a sales team. We have realized that Acuity doesn't work well when you have more than one person doing sales. So if you plan to grow your business and have multiple people doing sales, we've realized, based on our philosophy of build it once and be done, we need to be in OneShub. And guess what? It's actually a little cheaper to start with, which was quite surprising. So let me show you how they all work together. So I'm just going to bring up a little screen here, and so that you can visually see. I don't want this. No. How do I make that go away? Let's just shut it down. Try it again. There we go. Create note. New. Okay. So this is how, so that you can visually see how all the software works together and why you need more than one piece of software. So it's really great marketing when somebody says to you that their piece of software does all the things. It's just great marketing, an all-in-one software solution. It's your GP. It's your general practitioner doctor, right? They like Kajabi does house, and Kajabi's really great for your online programs, for your coaching programs, for your community. However, its CRM is so basic. But Keep, that is our bigger, larger CRM, it's more than just sending emails and a little bit of automation. It's literally, to me, I see it as 4 full-time staff in a box. So let me draw you a picture. Now let's hope this is working for the iPad. Yay, look at that, me doing that in the background and it works. Okay, so this is how I see Kajabi. So Kajabi here is your shop front. It's what your clients see. It's what they interact with. It's what they touch. So if you think of a bricks and mortar business, out the front here, you have got posters on the wall or in the window telling them all about your business and that they should come in and have a look around. And then there's a front door that they can walk into. Now, access through the front door, they have to give you an email address. Okay, so they see these beautiful signs out the front that are your landing pages in Kajabi, and on them they give you their email address, which allows them to walk in the door. Now, around the outside of here is some free training, information, contact us, all different things that they can touch, feel, and try. So that is all, again, built in Kajabi. Even your website is built in Kajabi because that's what the client or the prospects can touch, feel and explore around to learn about you. Then when they decide to buy, they walk up to the checkout, and again, Kajabi, they buy from the checkout. Now, once they purchase a product, they get to go and hang out in the classrooms or have canapes, right? So over here, maybe you've got a membership site, you've got a short course. Over here, you've got some coaching over here, you've got the community over here. It's where all the cool kids hang out. So after they purchase, they go into the products section of Kajabi. So as we can see, this is what Kajabi does well. Now, sure, they can collect emails and automate, but they don't do it well. This is why we need another piece of software, which is a really robust, scalable CRM, which stands for Customer Relationship Management. And it's a system, it's a piece of tech. So for us, I've tried lots. But what I found is the one that is the most scalable, it has marketing automation, sales automation, admin automation as well. So I know what I need to do and when I need to do it, is Keep. All right, so in here is where we keep the customer's information. So did they give us an email address? If so, yes, and send it back to Keep. Did they purchase? If so, yes, send it back to Keep. Did they try this little thing over here? If so, yes, send it back to Keep. Keep is your back office. It's the in trays. It's the to-do list. It's what do we as a business need to do. It's who do we need to follow up with? Who is right on the edge of buying? Or who do we need to nurture because they're not yet ready to buy? So it is all of this amazing automation. It is what I love to call my staff in a box. It is my tech that supports the stuff I don't need to do on repeat. Now, how do these two pieces of software talk to each other? Well, there's this little guy. His name is Zapier. Okay, so this is the next piece of software. And every time something happens out here in the shop, Zapier gets triggered with a Post-it note and he runs back. We have an email. Somebody tried that thing. Somebody purchased the thing. And he lets them know. So we know what is happening. It's the in tray. So that's the third piece of software. Now, the other piece of software that we have is because we teach that you cannot sell a high ticket offer without having a sales conversation. It's just a chat with somebody. But they need to book a call. Now, we don't want to be playing email tag and DM tag trying to find an appointment. So again, we have another piece of software for booking appointments. It knows when I'm free, when I'm available, or when my team is free and available. And it's called Once, I think it's called Once Hub or Schedule Once. There's been a bit of a name change recently. And when an appointment is booked, it is sent into Keep. So we know what's happening, right? We know who's booked an appointment. So again, this is all you need to grow to 7 figures. You don't need other bells and whistles, shiny things. And this, to be totally honest, if you're worried about spending money on software to grow a 6 and 7 figure business, then you're in the wrong place, okay? We're not for you if you're stressed about spending money on software. However, the price of the software is not that expensive. It's about $10 per day. You can't rent a bricks and mortar business and fill it with stock for $10 a day. So if this is your concern, spending $10 a day on your business, I would say you're running a hobby come back and see me when you're ready to actually grow a real business and you're not stressed about spending $10 a day. I mean, it's a coffee and a half. Depends what type of coffee you get. So this is the main. Kay wanted to know what is the main tools. This is it for build it once and be done. Now, here in the Sparkle world, we make all of this stuff work for you. We build the landing pages, we make the emails, all the things. But I can tell you from experience that these pieces of software will grow with you. You will never have to relearn another piece of software. Now, once you're consistently making around sort of $40,000 a month, which is about a $500,000 business, sure, go and buy more sparkly pieces of software. Actually, that being said, there is one other piece of software for running an online business that I recommend that everyone also has, the pro account of Canva. Okay, that's the only other piece of software that I recommend that you have. Now, you can use the free version of Canva and get away with it, but honestly, being able to use unlimited images, graphics, music, and be able to create within the one click of a button a single post on all types of platform formats, totally worth it for the time and the effort. If you would like a 45-day free trial to Canva, please send me a DM and I can hook you up. Now, I saw somebody over there is like, where do we DM you? Best place to DM me is on Instagram or on Instagram. DM me on Instagram. It's the best place to get through to me. My team are monitoring it all the time. You can certainly message me on Facebook. We are spending a lot more time over on Instagram right now. So head on over there and give us a follow if you're not doing that already. And we will be able to hook you up with a chat to help you plug your holes. Make sure you've got the right systems in place. All right, coming back to the VIPs. So I'm just double check that there is no other questions coming in. Yes, and another person asking where to DM. Instagram would be the best. So raise your hands, sparklers. Let us know what questions do you have, and get those scorecards ready because we'll be going dark in a minute to be able to look at your scorecards or at least have your questions. But do you have any other questions you'd like to share out here, or otherwise we'll go dark? Yes, Nahaku, I saw you unmute. Go for it.
Well, it might be a little more complicated.
Okay.
Your last tip had to do with preparing yourself to, sell your business if that's where you want to go.
Yes.
What are the main things that you should be thinking about if that eventually is something that you would like to?
Yeah. So this is why you've joined us, because we help you build your business to make it a sellable product. This is where your signature method comes in. So you have this method, and as you can see, a lot of my coaches now can teach the method, right? So once you've got that method in place, your team should understand the method. Now, the method comes from you. So therefore, not every step through the method can one person probably do. It just means that you might need a couple of different people to do the different steps. So for example, the mindset side of our business, sure, I'm a qualified life coach. It's not something I love to do. I have Jackie. She loves it. And we have like the tech, really good at it, love it heaps. But who have we brought in? We've brought in Christy now to do it. So I don't have to do it. So we make the method, and then we slowly start hiring ourselves out of the roles we don't like. So I think it might have been last week's training, or it may be where no, it was in the 3-day training where I showed you where you divide your business into 4 quadrants of where you should be spending most of your time. So if I come back to the whiteboard, I'll show you. What you want to start doing is, bear with me while I find my whiteboard again. Here it is. So what I try to do is, as you're growing your business, you want to start to divide your business into 4 major quadrants. And what you have at the moment is a to-do list, right, of all the things that you need to do. Now, your signature method is the thing that will be sellable, but to get you there, you need to work out what is your 100%. So what is it that you have the capacity to do? Now, once you know what your 100% is, then what you do is you start to work out what you love to do, right? And you're great at doing. And then you work out what you like to do and what you're good at doing. Then what you don't like to do, but you're actually good at it, and what you don't like to do, and you're also not good at it. And what you'll find is most people will have 70% of their things down here to begin with. So you want to brainstorm out all the things that you're currently doing and then start to put them in these areas. And then the goal of this is to delegate and elevate yourself. So then you start to choose tasks from down here and here, and at least 1 to 2 a quarter, and start to delegate them so that you can spend more time up in this upper quadrant here. The goal is to spend most of your time eventually in this love and great area and working in that top left-hand side of the quadrant. So begin by brain dumping out everything that you're doing. Now, it may be some of those things you don't actually need to be doing. We do tend to choose a lot of stuff that we think we should be doing, but when you sit down and work out, should I actually be doing that thing? Then you can start to delegate. And then once, or actually just totally get rid of. Like, should you even be bothered doing this now? And this is where you go through the VTO inside our program and we work out, one, what our yearly goal is, and then what is our quarterly goal. Because when we have a 90-day goal in place, with that 90-day goal, it gives you enough time to achieve something that's actually meaningful. But if you set longer goals, those yearly goals may not be relevant in a few months' time. And it also allows us to procrastinate if the goals are too far off into the future. And when you're in a 90-day period, you can stay more focused. And then every 90 days, which we're coming to the end of the quarter, we're about to reset our goals, right? But tracking our numbers, when you go through the VTO, and I recommend you go back through that, Nahaku, because we only just added that to the program at the beginning of this year. Once you have those goals in place and you're tracking those numbers every week and then every quarter, you start to see patterns in the numbers as well. And I know I've totally digressed from your original question, but it felt like one led to the next, okay? Because at the end of the day, you know, I do want you to, if you're starting, this is your passion project. This is the thing we want to do forever because we're coaches and we want to transform lives. But knowing that, you know, what if something happens? You want to know that you've grown a sustainable business that, you know, somebody can step in and manage for you in the long run, or potentially buy, right? It's just being smart in business. Not that I ever want to sell the Sparkle World. And I can tell you, I'm definitely not 100% at the sellable stage yet, but it's only just over 5 years old, right? And I'm just starting another business at the moment as well. And I know my goal for that one, because it's definitely not a passion business, is within 2 to 3 years, I want to be walking away and have a CEO and a CFO managing it, because we'll have all the systems and the methods in place. So was that helpful, Nahaku?
Yes, it was. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Just helped frame it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not definitely want to help. That's why I'm starting what I'm doing. But I have friends that are looking to sell their business, and I'm like, maybe that's something that I just need to prepare for,
Mm-hmm.
at some day, and then, but you have to do the work to get
You
there.
do.
So.
You do. Yeah, yeah. It's just setting yourself up and slowly start just delegating yourself out of those things you don't want to do. I think that's the best way to sort of start looking at building towards selling later on. Any other questions? We've got 5 minutes before we go dark. No. All good. It's fine. Everybody out there on the live stream who wants to come in now, come on in. We're about to go dark and do our actual strategy with Sally, coaching, number tracking, all the things, question time for the next hour. If you don't want to miss any of our future lives, please go and register with Dr. Sparkle. She'll hook you up with reminders to ensure that you do not miss any of our live trainings. We are here most weeks on 9 a.m. Melbourne time, 6 p.m. now because daylight savings has started in the US, Eastern Standard Time. So if you want to not miss it, register with Dr. Sparkle. She usually sends messages. Sometimes, we're not always perfect and forget to set them up. But have a fabulous day, guys. As always, never let anyone dull your sparkle. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button for us over on YouTube as well. And thank you so much for joining us live. Never let anyone dull your sparkle, and make sure you get at least one income-producing activity done each and every day. And I'll see you on the next live. Bye, guys.
You've been hiding in the shadows way too long. You always thought that you were weak, but babe, you're wrong. Yeah, you better step into the light, just give it a try. Think that it's time you let that spark out. You've been hiding in the shadows way too long.